Mercedes ended strong in the Miami Grand Prix, but there's still plenty of work to be done if they hope to catch up to title favorites Red Bull. That involves keeping their star driver Lewis Hamilton satisfied with the state of the team, but his faith in the Silver Arrows may be starting to dwindle given the capabilities of the W14, not to mention a team order over the past weekend that didn't sit right with him. We'll be taking a look at how Mercedes is keeping things under control, so don't go anywhere. Despite Lewis Hamilton's call for a 1-second upgrade after the Miami Grand Prix, Toto Wolff has tempered expectations regarding Mercedes' eagerly awaited upgrade for the upcoming race in Imola. Even after a good effort from the Silver Arrows, their main rival Red Bull remains out of reach for the former world champions as they once again secured a 1-2 finish. Regardless of Hamilton's request for a second upgrade that could yield a gain of around 1 second, Wolff thinks that the upcoming Imola upgrade may not even provide half a second of improvement. Instead, he described it as a solid starting point. Additionally, the Mercedes CEO commented that, "I don't think we'll get there, and suddenly we're half a second faster and in the middle of a fight. We won't." Lewis Hamilton is likely to be extremely frustrated with the current state of affairs at Mercedes, at least according to Ralf Schumacher. After a forgettable 2022 season, Hamilton and the entire Mercedes team were undoubtedly aiming for a comeback and a return to their winning ways this year. However, things have not gone as planned, and if anything, the performance gap to the dominant championship leaders, Red Bull, seems to have widened even further. Carlos Sainz was overtaken by George Russell, who secured 4th place, while Lewis Hamilton made a late move to pass Charles Leclerc and claim 6th position ahead of the Monegasque driver. This incident occurred after an intriguing moment when Russell, who was on a distinct strategy, caught up to his teammate after completing his pit stop. As Hamilton had not made his pit stop yet, he was not competing directly against his fellow British driver, Russell. Consequently, the Mercedes team promptly communicated via radio to ensure that Russell was not negatively impacted. During one team radio exchange, the 7-time world champion received a message that said, "We have George 1.1 behind. We aren't racing him, we are racing Esteban Ocon, so let's not hold each other up." To which Lewis resentfully replied, "He can go by, but I am not backing off though." The strategy turned out to be effective, resulting in Russell overtaking Sainz and securing 4th place. However, Schumacher still believes that it would have been quite embarrassing for the 38-year-old had the situation unfolded differently. Mercedes team boss Toto Wolff, on the other hand, expressed satisfaction with Hamilton's handling of the situation and was content with the overall outcome, considering that both drivers managed to improve their grid positions. When questioned about any potential backlash regarding Hamilton's request, Wolff responded by saying, "No, absolutely not. George was a stop ahead. To see two teammates, both on very good levels, that are both so straightforward, that is good at such a difficult moment. The car was good today. From P13, it's pretty difficult if you start on the same strategy as everyone else to pass. Therefore, we went with hard. Then we saw others had thought the same. Considering the strategy hope that we had, that nobody would start on the hards, was diminished, he drove a great race." Ever since the beginning of the 2023 F1 season, Mercedes has been placing their expectations on Imola as the pivotal moment for their campaign. The team has faced difficulties with pace throughout the initial 5 races, only managing to secure a single podium finish. Furthermore, they have been surpassed by their customer team, Aston Martin, who utilized Mercedes engines and purchased the rear of their car from the Brackley-based outfit. Toto Wolff has recently unveiled the specific upgrades that Mercedes will be implementing as part of their substantial F1 update for the upcoming Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix in Imola later this month. Following the Miami race, both Lewis Hamilton and George Russell downplayed the potential impact of the Imola upgrade. Despite this, Wolff described it as not being a miraculous solution, but expressed confidence that it will provide Mercedes with enhanced long-term development possibilities. He said, "We need to manage our own expectations, because we're bringing an update package that's going to consist of new suspension parts, bodywork, and some other things. But I have never in my 15 years in F1 seen a silver bullet being introduced, where suddenly you unlock half a second of performance, so I very much doubt that this is going to happen here." But what I'm looking forward to is that we take certain variables off the table, where we believe we could have introduced something that we don't understand in the car. We can go more to a stable platform, and then we should see where the baseline is and what we can do from there. Wolff characterized the upcoming upgrade as a major overhaul, emphasizing that Mercedes intends to implement a series of changes to address the issues plaguing their problematic W14 car, which he referred to as poisonous. I think we are chasing downforce, and we're trying to do the best possible job in terms of the mechanical platform. What we're doing is we're introducing a new bodywork, and we're introducing a new floor, and we're doing a new front suspension, and that's pretty large. That's a pretty large operation, large surgery. It's going to be a lot of learning in the virtual world, where it is good lap time. That's why the upgrade that we're bringing is going to help us to set the direction, and to understand the various areas that we believe could play a role in why the car is so poisonous to drive. George Russell has acknowledged that Mercedes should not anticipate game-changing advancements when their new upgrade package is implemented in Imola. Ever since the implementation of new technical regulations at the beginning of the previous season, Mercedes has encountered difficulties despite their prior dominance in the sport for 8 years. The Silver Arrows took a risk by adopting a minimalist side pod design, which, is safe to say, has not yielded the desired results. This has allowed Red Bull to gain the advantage at the front of the grid. Mercedes intends to introduce a substantial upgrade package at the upcoming Grand Prix in Imola that is potentially accompanied by a shift towards a new design philosophy. While some fans have expressed optimism about the updates, George Russell has been cautious in managing expectations, suggesting that significant improvements should not be anticipated. He emphasized that Red Bull is still expected to maintain its status as the fastest team. Russell emphasized that the forthcoming upgrades in Imola will not bring about an immediate transformation, as they will require time to integrate and optimize. Furthermore, he acknowledged that other teams in the paddock would also be striving to make their own improvements during the same period. Speaking on the F1 Nation podcast, Russell said, "There is a lot of expectation around Imola. Everyone is moving forward, and everyone is bringing updates, and for sure we'll go a small step in the right direction. For sure, I'd like to think we can transform things, but this is F1. It is never that straightforward. I won't give any secrets away, but don't expect the world to change in Imola. Red Bull are still going to be the quickest. We are chasing them, and we want to beat them." With Hamilton's contract still in question, what can the Silver Arrows do to keep him on? Share your ideas in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell for the hottest F1 news.